Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. Today I'm going to be doing a quick weekly wrap-up. Because I finished my July events last weekend, and that was co-hosting Rocket Summer and also the Ulysses read-along, I still had a couple of days in July before the August events commenced. And so I wanted to just do a couple of things that I've had, in the back of my mind that I wanted to read. And one of those was to read a little novel that has been recommended to me by several booktubers. Kim at Middle of the Book March has talked about this, Angelia at Read and Reread, Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, and this book is A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr. And this is a book I've heard people rave about, and I had never even heard of this book before BookTube, and decided it was something I needed to read, and it was just exceptional. This was J.L. Carr's fifth novel. It was originally published in 1980, and it was nominated for the Booker Prize at that time. I had never heard of it, as I said, before I heard several people talking about it here on BookTube. What an incredible book I had been missing. This is the story of a World War I veteran. His name is Tom Birkin. He is employed by a small village church, a country church, to uncover a mural that has been hidden behind several hundred years worth of paint. So he's been hired to come out to this village church for the summer to restore the painting. He lives in the belfry of the church during the course of the time that he is working on this project. In World War I, before post-traumatic stress syndrome or disorder was a diagnosis, people talked about soldiers coming home with shell shock from the traumas that they suffered in the war. That seems to be what has happened to Tom Birkin. He has developed an uncontrollable facial tic, sort of a twitch, and he's developed a stammer in his speech. And on top of these physical manifestations, his world has also been turned upside down because his wife has recently run off with another man. And apparently it's not the first time that she's done something like that. So the novel opens with a very broken Tom Birkin coming to this country church to take on this restoration of the artwork within. He lives, as I said, in the belfry of the church, on a sleeping bag, basically. And he befriends several people in the community, most notably one named Moon. Moon has been camping out in the church's cemetery where he had been commissioned to find the bones of the ancestor of one of his patrons. So in the work of this restoration, Tom Birkin's damaged life also begins to be restored and repaired. As Birkin begins to realize what magnificence is underneath the hundreds of years of paint, he starts to slow down the work, savoring each moment because he doesn't want it to end. He wants it to last forever. I just wanted to read a short passage from the novel that kind of conveys this restorative power that I'm talking about. Ah, those days, for many years afterwards, their happiness taunted me. Sometimes listening to music, I drift back and nothing has changed. The long end of summer, day after day of warm weather, voices calling as night came on and lighted windows pricked the darkness, and at daybreak the murmur of corn and the warm smell of fields ripe for harvest, and being young. If I'd stayed there, would I always have been happy? No, I suppose not. People move away, grow older, die, and the bright belief that there will be another marvelous thing around each corner fades. It's now or never. We must snatch at happiness as it flies. It's quite simply a beautiful little book, poetic in style and breathtaking in its emotional force. I loved this book and I immediately wanted to tell everyone that I know about it. I wanted to share it with everyone. I also reread this week William Faulkner's novel As I Lay Dying. I am reading this for Faulkner in August, a reading event created by Brian, the bookish Texan, and Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics, and an event that's co-hosted by a whole bunch of people whose names I will list below. This is definitely one of the most accessible of Faulkner's novels. It's the story of the Bundren family, who are making a perilous journey to Jefferson, Mississippi, to bury their wife and mother, who had requested to be buried with her family of origin. There is a husband, a daughter, and 4 sons making this trip with the deceased Addie in a wooden casket in the back of a wagon. We're told the story in a series of short chapters from different characters' points of view. All of the children, the husband, the doctor, the dead woman, and a few other people from the community tell the story of this family, its many secrets, and their efforts ultimately to bring their wife and mother to her final resting place. We're discussing the book in a Voxer group. I reread the entire novel this week, but I will reread each section that we've designated for each of the weeks of August as we go along. And I'll talk about the book as a whole at the end of the month. This week I am also beginning my long-awaited buddy read of Stephen King's The Stand with my friend Kim at middle of the book March. We are planning to read the first 10 chapters this week. This is a book that we both have had on our shelves for a long time. We both have been wanting to read this, and I'm excited that we have decided to read it together now as a buddy read. This book also counts for the Big Books of Summer Challenge, sponsored by Sue Jackson. Additionally, I am also participating in GarbAugust, and I did receive my copy of GARBOLOGY on August 1st on my Kindle, and that is an anthology that was created by Olly at Criminolly and edited by Troy Tradup, and it consists of the artwork and the trashy fiction of many booktubers and good friends of booktube as well. So I just got started at that. Read a couple of terrific stories by people that I know. I also thought it might be fun to read Payton Place by Grace Metalius. I think that might be, a picture of the original cover of this 1956 novel. This is described as a novel about the, quote, dark underside of a small, respectable New England town. I just started it. I actually just started it last night. And nothing the least bit scandalous has happened yet. I'll keep you posted. I also hoped to read the group read for GarbAugust, which is Jacqueline Suzanne's Valley of the Dolls, which I also have here on my Kindle. And I don't know if I said this before. I'm going to I'll list all of the co-hosts of this event as well in the notes below. I'm also participating in the Phenomenal Woman Readathon, hosted by the lovely Marilyn Maya Mendoza. In this month of August, Marilyn is celebrating her 4-year anniversary as a booktuber, and she's also celebrating her birthday and her long personal connection to the poet and memoirist Maya Angelou. Marilyn is asking us to read some poetry by Maya Angelou, to consider reading one of Maya Angelou's books, or to read another work by a phenomenal woman. I have decided that I am going to reread I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, which I have here, my old paperback copy. And I have her complete autobiographies, all of her memoirs, and it's also in this beautiful hardcover edition as well. We used to teach this book years ago. I'm going to reread it not only for Marilyn's Phenomenal Woman Readathon, but also for the banned book challenge. I have been participating in the Read 24 in 2024 banned book challenge hosted by MJ at Reading This Life. This will be my 20th of 24 banned books that I have read so far in the challenge. I will do a separate video on this in the near future as part of my banned book series. Right now, for Marilyn, I would like to read a poem by Maya Angelou. I also have Maya Angelou's complete poetry in this hardcover book, and I would like to read her poem entitled Still I Rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides. Just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard? You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain I rise. I am a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. So that's it for this week. As always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well. I'll speak with you again soon. Take care.